If I catch who's been scaring my garlic, I'll be very annoyed with them. Seriously though, folks, I did a short a little while back where I just briefly went over how I'm curing my garlic and my onions. There's another edition which I'll show you in a second, but all this is, to go into a little bit more depth, this is just a grid. It's sort of a door of a pen system for that we used to have for our rabbits, and which we used for our chickens for a while, and that's why it's here in the chicken. This is the former chicken pen. We no longer got the chickens, obviously, but so this is the ideal place for doing this. Ideal medium. We've got this grid, so they're drying out nicely. These were all quite ripe when I put them here, and I think it was just a week and a half ago, and they're getting to that point where they're drying out and sucking in around the top there, and they'll be ready for putting in a sack. Or if I wanted to, but I think some of them are a bit too far gone, I could have plated them where they were still a bit flexible, but we're too late for that now, especially the last couple of days, the weather we've been having, the heat wave. You know, these have all dried out. These are like tinder, you know. I mean, if you had a match, you'd probably set these on fire. Over here we've got garlic hanging up. These are the bigger ones. I'm keeping these ones for next year's seed. If you can see the size of that in the palm of my hand, and I don't have small hands, so these ones here more for keeping for cooking. But I've also got a lot more up here, including Scary Face. There's something that a few of them went this way, which is quite common. The reason these are hanging up beside the seed ones is because I'm just waiting to see how that turns out, because it may turn out not to be great for preserving, and probably will only be good for growing on as seeds. Pity the bulbs are so small, but you know, we can't help these things. Another thing that we've added, the other thing that I was going to talk about, is this. This is the seed stock, or the seed stalks. No, well, the one seed stalk. Yep, it's from one plant, from a Nero de Toscana kale, which is like the most beautiful kale that you can eat, or that you can grow. And I thought, I'll have a go at saving the seeds. It went to flower, and I thought I'll just leave it. So all these little pods are drying out. As you can see, the seeds are black inside there. So what I'll do, once this is fully dried out, and it hasn't taken long, I only hung this a few days ago, so and it was still very, very greeny yellow at that point. There you go, there's a better picture of all the seeds. So I can grow them next year. I had several of these plants, so they'll be fine to grow on. And I'll probably get, I don't know how many seeds I'll get from this, but if I store them well enough, I could keep them up to 7 years probably, I've heard. Although I wouldn't keep them probably more than 3, but this is probably going to take care of growing Nero de Toscana kale for myself, and probably the entire allotment for the next few years, which will be good. I'll do another video once this is all ready. Once I get back from holiday, I'll go on holiday this week. I'm going to do the breaking off of all the pods and stuff, and then I will scrunch them all up, and I will winnow them and see what we get. But I'm thinking probably a couple of thousand seeds in there, all told. And this isn't going to be the last one. I'll also have seeds for tree cabbage, which I've allowed to get to that stage, and they may actually have crossed. This definitely hasn't crossed, because there was nothing in it. It was completely isolated away from everything else, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the tree cabbage, and those will be in here in the next few days.